Okay, let's get into it, Logan. I am going to show you how to make our little spaceship slash person fire a laser. Okay, a little pew-pew every time we press the space bar. So the first thing I need you to do is go into Sprite, and you're going to paint. We're going to create a sprite, um, but we're going to create a laser. Okay, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, and I've already got the color that I need, and I'm going to make it yellow so it shows up really, really good against the black background there. Okay, and I think we're going to make it about, whoop, that wasn't right. Let's try a straight line. That'll work. Okay, so here's Sprite 2. And now that we've got Sprite 2 made, we're going to go over to the code section. And there is some additional code that we need to put on the Sprite 1. We want to leave everything like it is. So this guy still moves around by using the left and right arrow keys and the up one to go a few steps. Okay. Now we want to add to that code. We want to go to events. When clicked, just put it off to the side. And then we want a forever loop. So let's go down here and look for a forever loop. Put it over here. And we want something to happen. So we want if inside of the forever. Okay. And you'll remember last week we did a whole bunch of these. The key, where is it? Oh, it's in sensing, I think. Yeah, when key pressed. Okay, so we want to leave this exactly the way it is. So we got the forever loop, so this stuff happens all the time. If we do something, specifically every time we press the space bar, then this happens. And what we're going to do at then is create a clone. So you go down into it here. If this happens, we're going to create a clone of Sprite 2. Right? So in the first sprite, these are what's going to happen, and we're going to give it directions on the Sprite 2 as well, but these are the things, the directions that are going to happen the moment we press the green flag. So when the green flag is pressed, not only do we have the movements over on the left-hand side, but we're also going to have what happens every time we press the space bar. Now we want it to wait for just a few seconds. So we're going to find the wait. There, it's got the seconds right there. So we put that. Oops. I seem to be doing this in the wrong thing. There we go. We got the wait. Okay. And we change the wait time. So we're going to put 0.3 because we want it to happen pretty fast. Pretty much every single time we press the space bar, we want the little laser coming out. Okay. Now we're done on this part. All we got to do is switch over to the Sprite 2 code, and we're going to start doing some stuff over there. Now, the first thing I want you to grab is, and this will be a control, and it will be called when I start as a clone. And if you'll remember over here, when clicked, forever, create clone of Sprite 2. So when you start as a clone, these are the instructions for the actions that Sprite 2 is going to be capable of doing. We're going to go down to purple, and we're going to have show right there. And then we're going to go up to motion, and we'll have go to, put it right over here, Sprite 1. Okay, this is where we're essentially going to have the laser originate or start at wherever Sprite 1 happens to be. Okay. We want it to point in direction. So same into motion, pointing direction, and then this one is a sensing, okay, and it is, now it'll say over here on the left-hand side, backdrop number of, and then stage number. So we want to pull this one out, and we're going to change pointing direction. First you have to change the stage to Sprite 1. Then you put in the direction of Sprite 1. So Sprite 2 is always going to point in the direction, the same direction that Sprite 1 is at. And now we're going to come over here to control, and we're going to have a repeat. Do I want this one? I believe I do. We're going to put this repeat right here. And we're going to come here to sensing, and we're going to look at touching the edge of, let's see if we can find it. touching the edge of color. No, touching. Let's move that over there. Oop, you know what? I just noticed that this is the wrong repeat. So let's get rid of that repeat and go back up here. And that's repeat 10 seconds. We want repeat until, see, that would have messed it up. Go back to sensing, and looking at sensing, we want touching edge of. So let's edge, right? Touching edge. So we want this to repeat until the laser hits the edge of the screen, okay? And we want it to have an action of what it's going to do. And that action is going to go right in there. It's going to move, and we're going to change that value from 10 to 15. And then after it does all this, we want it to do one final thing, and we want it to delete this clone. So we want it to vanish after it goes to the edge. Okay? So these are the actions that Sprite 2 itself is going to take every time we press the green flag. These are the actions only that only Sprite 2 is going to do. And then over here, the actions of what Sprite 2 does in relation to, I'm sorry, what Sprite 1 does in relation to Sprite 2. Okay, so let's see if we did this right. I press the flag, get this going, yes. Now, look at that. Now I still have the old yellow one there, which I can get rid of. Maybe I can't. Well, you know what, I'll worry about that at another time. I'm sure I can get rid of it, but right now, as you can see, our little dude can go anywhere, and if I hold spacebar down, he just constantly shoots, or I can press it as much as I want, and he shoots. So play with that. I want to see what you do. I'm going to share this so you can see it, okay? And we'll go from there. Okay, we've got more stuff to do next week. We're going to probably create things for it to hit so that something happens whenever our little laser hits objects in space. All right? Have a good weekend, and I'd love to see you do this and share it so I can actually see the progress you're making.